Hello, everyone. We're kicking off one more episode of Let's Talk About It. Thank you very much for your participation today. In case you've got questions to ask, please use the comment section on the left-hand side of the screen. We'll be glad to answer your questions, right? Today, we'll be talking about energetic cleaning, a topic for me, in my opinion, of paramount importance as we interact energetically, directly or indirectly, consciously or intuitively with people and places every single day, connecting our consciential energies and swapping thoughts, sentiments, and emotions. And that we do it all the time. That's the reason why some care coping with this exchange of energies is advised. And we'll be talking about it today. But first and foremost, I have to say, don't believe in anything, not even in what we say here in our debate. Experiment. Have your own experiences, right? To talk about energetic cleaning today, let me introduce you, or actually, they will be introduced by themselves. Our team of talkers. Leo Schneider, welcome back to Let's Talk.
Hello, Mario. How are you? I'm glad to be here because this is a very interesting subject. We are all the time interacting with other people, with environment, and I have to introduce myself. My name is Leonardo Schneider. I first met Conscientiology when I was 9 years old. That means I basically shaped my worldview with the principles of Conscientiology. And in 2010, I became a volunteer. In 2011, I became a teacher in Conscientiology.
Very good, Leo. Welcome back. Now, Marcelo Duffels, where are you talking from, Marcelo?
Hello, guys. I'm talking from Rio de Janeiro. My name is Marcelo Duffels. I met Conscientiology in 2006, start volunteering for Conscientiology in 2007, became a teacher in 2010, and I'm here today to discuss this topic with you.
Very good. Sister Schoenemann.
Hi, everyone. So I'm to research this subject since 1993. I've been in contact with Conscientiology, and now I'm from Brazil, and now I'm living in Germany.
Very good, Sister. Welcome back. Yes, and I'll also introduce myself, right? I'm Mario Luna, talking from Foz do Iguaçu, Paraná. I've been working as a language teacher, translator, and interpreter for 27 years now. I first heard of Conscientiology in 1991, but only started in the voluntary work in 2007. Yeah, I think that's that. And as a teacher, as a lecturer as well. With ASSIPI, I've been since 2018, not 1988. It's a long time. No, 2018 with ASSIPI. Okay, people, let's talk. It's important to say, right, that our debate is based on conscientiology, right? Based on the conscientiological paradigm. And what is this? What is new science is this, right? Conscientiology. Conscientiology is a science that studies the consciousness as a whole, right? Consciousness is me, is you, is everyone. As a human being, right? Living a human life, and in this dimension and the other dimensions, right? All self-conscious beings, right? In many interacting and manifesting themselves in different dimensions, right? The consciential paradigm is focused on, we have some 7 pillars, right? And it's focused on bioenergies, the multidimensionality, right? The pluriexistentiality, self-research, cosmoethics, universalism, and holosoma, right? Conscientiology has more than 20 consciential-centric institutions, each of them specialized in a specific subject of research. ASSIPI is specialized in the study, the development, the practical use of parapsychism, right? ASSIPI is an international institution aiming at the mature use of self-parapsychism, an indispensable attribute for conscientious evolution, right? ASSIPI in English is a project from ASSIPI and focused on promoting the ideas of conscientiology worldwide. Now we're back for our conversation. Let's get started with our today's topic, energetic cleaning. I would like to start this conversation by saying there are two realities in the universe, consciousness and energy, right? Energies act independently of time and space. And the consciousness establishes interactions, energetic interactions with people in places all the time. And I would like us that we take this conversation to a very practical way, right? So that people can learn more about how the interactions happen when we leave home, when we are, with people, when you talk on the phone, and when see things on television, for example, when we read things as well, and how this interaction happens. So let's start talking about when we leave home, right? When we leave home, what happens when we are interacting with people? What kind of interactions there may be? Let's start with this.
Yeah, I think interactions is quite interesting because we met many different people when we are in our daily routine. So sometimes we go to a supermarket, to a store, in our work, in a school, or other things. So I think it's very interesting for us to perceive the energies and also to be in a state that we could interact in a good way without having too much pressure. Sometimes when we met people that maybe are not with the best energy in that day. Okay, so I think this is one starting point to start the conversation.
Yeah, one interesting thing to think about is that when we exchange energies with other people, with environments, we start to absorb these energies. And when we get to the end of the day, we absorb different kinds of energy, and we have to learn how to clean it, because when we absorb many different kinds of energy, we have a lot of pressure.
And it's good to know the ground zero. What is your energy? What it is that I need to clean up? Because if you're being absorbing energies for a while, for years, for months, then you're not connected with your own energies. Then you're going to clean it and to feel your own energies. And then with this ground zero, now I know what my energies are. Then when I leave my home, then I talk to my neighbors. Oh, there is an interaction here. There is something that is not mine. There is a new energy in place. It's a good one. It's a one that I like or not. Why is that? What is the interaction, the relationship, energies, interactions? Then I go to the street and more people, more interactions. And like Sixer said, then I went to the supermarket, to the subway, and those energies keep floating. And if we know our own energies and what we are absorbing, then during the day, at the end of the day, we can see that now I feel that my energies are connected with too many others. Then I'd like to clean it during the day, after the day. Then each one will see their need and their mastery of energies and the connections that you're going to interact.
Yeah, that's definitely very important. Okay, Leo, you can go. Go ahead.
Oh, I was. Leo is going to talk. Please go ahead.
Let's organize here.
It's interesting what Marcelo said, because how do we know this kind of thought or this kind of energy is not mine? Because this is very important. This is a central question in this debate, I think.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that sometimes there are also some events that can be a little bit worse in terms of energy. For example, some discussions and someone being more aggressive with other, or any other situation. For example, today I just have one that I was I saw it. That was one dog attack another one. So basically, then the owners created different clima, for the situation. Of course, many times when this happens, it's not only the interphysical event. Sometimes there is a repercussion in a multidimensional way. So we are also in an environment that we interact also with extraphysical consciousness. And so there's sometimes a big mess in this scenario. And sometimes this we need to clean. Okay, so sometimes you can send the best energies to things get more harmonic as possible. Okay, so these things, I think, the one important aspect is to minimize the emotional reactions about this, more to focus in what exactly happened and how we can help, if possible, to help. Sometimes just sending good energies, sometimes just making things more calm, makes things easier, okay, for the entire environment. Sometimes you can clean the extra-physical environment and in a place where something physical happened. Yeah? So a car crash, or I just given one example, but could be many other more dramatic events, and sometimes are important for us to be aware on how can I how could be my behavior in a situation like this. I think always is good for us to be at least active in somehow. Okay, we don't need to go there in the middle, in the front, but sometimes it's good at least to be aware and what can be done without emotional reactions, strong reactions. These usually are not helpful in this type of situation. And I just want to share this because just I remember, because it happened a situation like this today, so I think it's good to share here.
An interesting way to think about it. is what can I do to make things better in this scenario, in this situation? And we have a term in conscientiology that is dosing. So every time we think about one thing, we are sending energy. Every time we feel something, we are sending energy. So that's very interesting. You brought this situation, Cicero, because what could you do? What can we do in a situation like this? So we can send the best energies by uh, positive thoughts and positive emotions.
Yeah, I totally agree. When you are in those situations, you have to assess your emotions and try to, like the thing you just explained, to send fraternity emotions, understanding emotions, because if you are not balanced, or if you are full of immature energies, like saying like that, then you're going to put fire in the I don't know if there is this expression in English, but wood in the fire, gasoline in the fire.
Yeah, put the fire in the gasoline. Yeah, that's
That's
very, very interesting to say, because I was thinking about that. This kind of interactions, energetic interactions, happens every single day. Every time we talk to people, we go to places and so on, but people are unaware of this kind of interactions. And when Marcel said that we should pay special attention to the ground zero, or how our energies are, we can make a differentiation. Sometimes we are feeling very well, but and then I interact with people and they are bad, and I don't know why I start feeling these feelings, like negative feelings. All of a sudden I change my mood, I change my partner, and I don't know why. So it's very interesting to say that, right? For people to be more attentive to the quality of their energies and what happens when they interact, when you go to places. For example, sometimes when I visit some places, the energies of the places interfere, right, a lot and change my parties. Sometimes I feel bad, especially in places where they sell old things like antique shops or museums and things like that. So how can people deal with the energies of the environment when the environments are not so clean, energetically speaking?
And it's good to understand some principles like coupling. When you met with someone and you start talking with someone, then our energies couple, and then with that coupling, then you can do some techniques to help with the coupling if needed. Sometimes if there is an intruder, you can use a technique of lucid bait. Then you push the intruder to your psychosphere, try to help it, and then to help it and not to affect yourself, sometimes you have to clean these energies. If you do penta, there's a technique of assistance technique, then you can help and clean it, like helping in a particular part of your day. So there are some techniques that we can use to help others and clean ourselves selves in the process. But it's good to know that we have some techniques like lucid baiting, and to know that we couple with people when we interact, we couple with the energy of places, and feeling that coupling, it's the starting point to know the differences and what we should do with our energies. What do you think?
I think one of the most important techniques from conscientiology. Uh, this is what Marcelo said was very important techniques, and I also want to bring another one here. That is the vibrational state, and I think the vibrational state can increase our perception and our sensibility, uh, dealing with these energies we are interacting during our day. And in our basic courses of conscientiology, we always incentivize the students to do minimum 20 vibrational states every single day. This will increase this sensibility and this perception of energies and to work better with your own energies.
Yes, and there is something very important in the use of techniques is not to be dependent on other things or other people, right? When we are able to use our own technique, we can use it anytime we want and anywhere we want. So we are not dependent on someone to do this with me, someone to clean my own energies, or some kind of charm. I may have an object that this object cleans my energy. And what happens when I'm not with this object with me? So how can my energies be cleaned whenever I want if I'm always dependent on someone else? So this independence, right, in the actions we may have to clean our own energies is something that I really value, and I recommend that people learn their own techniques and use these techniques for energetic cleaning. And especially, it's something that's very simple, but we don't pay much attention to it. Is when we leave home, right? When we are outside on streets, and we come back home. Is it important, Cicero, to have this energetic cleaning, just to be sure that we are not
Yeah.
taking things from the streets back home?
This is really good. Even sometimes when we don't perceive something bad, it is good to have as a habit, just to have the practice to clean. Like when we go to a fitness studio, we come back and we take a shower to clean our body, to clean our energies. Sometimes it's also the same when we go to other environments that maybe there are something that we get connected. Sometimes it's good also to have a type of cleaning. So how we do it, using, for example, the technique that Leonardo just mentioned, the vibration state, for example, or we move our energies, we exteriorize our energies in a way that we expand our energy. So if something is more connected to our energies that's not ours, the tendency is to spread and not be with us. Otherwise, sometimes some people can perceive after several hours that something was not too good and it was not so easy to become to a normal state. So it's important, I think, for us, at least when we are at home, that we feel very comfortable with our energies at home, and this is a place where we can have good energies, we can work with the energies daily, and it's good to keep it. So it's not good to clean the things every day, just clean. No, we just, when we come back, we avoid spreading outside energies inside our own bases, yeah, energetic bases.
Good technique and good remembers. Like my wife was out of our home for a while, and she returned yesterday. When she arrived, she imprinted her energies at our house, like to clean our house. Not even to need to clean our house, it's good to imprint our energies, everything that is not being used for a while, like printing your energies. Like it's good to shield your home, your rooms. So when you imprint your energies, it's good that you are like cleaning not only yourself, but you're cleaning and shielding the places where you live. And it's a very good technique and intelligent to do that, because when you are home, to feel really like home, to feel comfortable at home, so you need to clean it and to maintain it cleaned, like shielding and imprinting your energies at home. Like you can perceive like your TV room, your bedroom, your kitchen. Each places of your home has its own energies, Like if you imprint and you keep those energies separated and you keep imprinting the same pattern in different places, then you won't need to clean it and expend a lot of energies cleaning it for a while. So it's good to know your energies, like both Cicero, Leonardo, and Mario said, to use the vibrational state. Like if you are blocked, you're going to interact less with the environment and with other people. Once, if you want to evolve, if you want to master our energies, then we'll start using the vibrational state to mobilize our energies. Then you're going to start opening our chakras, you're going to start interacting more, and then we're going to perceive us better. But we also need to mobilize our energies more, because you're going to start opening our chakras and to increase the connections with the universe, with other people, with other places. So it's even more important to clean ourselves and to master the use of our energies.
Definitely, it's very important indeed. We have the first question coming up in our comment section here from Renata Machado. What is the no, Hugo Cardoso, sorry, Renata Machado is our monitor who actually placed the question here. Sorry. Hugo Cardoso, thank you for participation, Hugo. What's the best way to deal with a colleague that wants you to fail in your job? Yes, we were talking about thoughts, right? Thought energies and sentiments, right? So maybe we can talk about it, right? Because it's really a problem, I say, but we have to know how to deal with that, right?
Yeah. I could say there are probably several ways to deal with this situation. And it's very important, maybe, to first to keep your own state of how I can say feelings. Yeah, so it's important to understand that somebody that acts with this type of attitude, sometimes there are some immaturities being part of the personality so of that person. So some people, we also have our own immaturities in some aspects. So this is important for us to recognize. Okay, some people has some difficult, some problems, and in this case, it's also make interference in my own area. Yeah. So, but it's important first to understand that there are immaturities. Like, for example, a little kid can throw a glass of water in the floor, for example, as a immaturity, or was not exactly a behavior that probably that person will do when it's adult, but it happened. So the same could be for any behavior for everyone. So the first point is to understand that is in that situation that person acts is having this feeling. Sometimes there is a reason for the person that can justify or something, but of course, to interfere, to want someone to fail is not a good type of to sin. So it's not recommended, of course. And it's important for us to first to protect in terms of energies, yeah, but also take care with all the attitudes we can do together with this person. It's not to hide things, and sometimes making things more clear will make also easier for that person to understand what is your reality, what you think about and things. So confrontation sometimes is the worst part. Yeah. Sometimes, I'm just saying sometimes, because sometimes it's needed at least to say, if you have a feedback to give, when you need to give a feedback to someone, it's important to be in the right moment for with the right people. Sometimes, if it is just in time, is the best and based on facts. So, if you have only hypotheses, sometimes it's difficult to give a feedback. But if something happened and you perceive, oh, you see this, I send one report and you change and give another report, or you change the words I said to our boss or things like this. Sometimes you can give a feedback to clarify. Sometimes the person will try to understand, okay, this is also not a good posture from that person. But also in terms then when we deal with energies, how we can deal with this. Uh, we need to do a constant cleaning. Yeah, when you are in a job, even when there is no person that are against of us, it's good for us to keep our energy in a good state. I perceive, for example, sometimes when I am with very good energy, that I feel good, seems that everything happens. A customer call me and give good news, I receive good news, or someone ask me a meeting that I was wanting for a long time to have that meeting with that person. And the same I could say. In this case, I was showing an example when I was feeling with very good energy. But imagine if you are not with good energy. So after happens some things, if you decrease your energy, it could be a nightmare in your job. And this is important not to allow. Yeah? So you need to try to avoid this type of situation. If something not good happen in your job, try as much as possible to recover your normal pattern, your own state, independent of others. If some others did something that's not good, is not basically your fault. Yeah, so it's not something that you need to be too much worried about it. Yeah, so these things I think are important, but of course each situation we need to deal in a different way. We need to try to understand which is the case. If possible, sometimes we can work in a different team of work, not working with that person. So sometimes is the case, but you need to try to understand all the possibilities and try to do your best in this situation.
Very nice, Cicero. And I have one way to think about this situation, because when a colleague wants you to fail in your job, this colleague is sending some pattern of energy for you. Okay, this colleague is sending one kind of energy for you, and one of our main goals here is to increase our perceptions of this kind of energy we are receiving and we are absorbing. And one of the possible techniques we can do here is the encapsulation, because there are some one of our main goals here is to master our energies, and we have to have this sensibility when we have to expand our energies and increase these interactions. But sometimes the most intelligent action is to close, to really close, and when we do this technique of encapsulation, we are blocking these energies to come block these to absorb these energies. I think this is an interesting technique.
Another thing that I think you should do is to analyze the relationship. Uh, who is this person? Maybe it was someone that you didn't have a good past life experience. Maybe you have difficulty dealing with that person for a while. And what are the intentions, your intentions and his intentions? Does he want your job, or does he want only to affect you? So knowing your intentions and his intentions and the historical that you have in the relationship, not only in this life but in previous ones maybe. So try to understand the connection with that person and your emotions, your energies towards him, and what because it's hard. I think for all of us, for me, is when someone is sending me contrary energies, when someone wants me to fail, like the normal reactions is like fight back, is like to close ourselves, to send bad energies, like confrontational energies. So if you try to understand the relationship and your intentions toward him, and like I said, his intentions, is certainly better to equilibrate the energies to become more homeostatic energies.
That's right. There is a bottleneck in this kind of relationship, right? That it's the not to be emotionally evolved, right? Not to be emotionally evolved. Sometimes we are really like, oh, what can I do? Yeah, it really stirs us. So one thing is really to have this kind of a work out the energies, right? Every time you think that you are not going to put up with that, and just work with this technique, right? Leonardo said about the vibrational state technique, which is to, you can imagine the energies on top of your head and just send the energies down to your food and feet and then back to the top of your head. So you do these, these movements of the energies all over your body. And you can imagine the energies going up and down, right? Just sweeping your body all over your body, and you do this. Um, Start slowly, this movement very slowly, and then you gradually start to speed up until it's very fast. So it's kind of technique helps a lot for us to balance our emotions, right? Because actually the reactions that we have from this kind of situation, sometimes when we are provoked, teased, and things like this, it really gets to us. So at this moment when we go like, I think I'm not going to put up with that, so I start working these energies, and then we tend to calm down and actually understand the process. As Marcel said, there is an interaction going on. There is a reason for this person or anyone that we might meet in our lives, right, to do things against us, to even to attack us. And then that's the reason why I think that it has a lot to do with what we can say about energetic shielding, right? It's a kind of procedures or measures we might do to protect ourselves from bad energies, right? For example, as I said, when I go to a museum and antique shop, I tend to absorb the energies from these places that makes me feel sometimes very bad, right? Or headaches or feeling queasy or things like this. And I try to make this kind of movement with the energies as to protect me. But there is something that you might deal with this every day, is vampirization. Sometimes we talk to people, and after the talk we feel energetically drained, right? So let's go over that and see how we can deal with vampirization. Cicero, would you start talking about a bit?
Yeah, vampirization usually are people that need energies from the others. So this is the basic idea. So they have some feelings, they have some emotions that sometimes they need others to feel better. Yeah, and with this type of people, sometimes, of course, if we are closer to people that needs our energy to feel better, sometimes we can donate our energy, we can share our energies, it's the rise, but sometimes it's also not good. Yeah, so sometimes we need to protect ourselves, just to not, and also if we just every day exteriorize energy for that person, sometimes we are also not helping that person. So we sometimes it's good to have different posture. And I could say the first posture is for us to know how to protect ourselves from this type of people. Yeah. So that person that, for example, if you have a telephone call and after the telephone call, it was a 15 minutes, you get very heavy, very dense, seems that you want to sleep a little bit. So this is a typical example of a person that usually is needing your energy and so on. So the best in this situation is for us when we have interactions, that we keep our energies, and the best is to do in at least in two main moments. Before the interactions with others, it's good for us to keep our energy in a good state, so that we are in a good vibration of energies. Could be, for example, using the vibration state or other techniques of energies, bioenergies in this case. And also after, when we talk with somebody else, that we at least we clean ourselves. Then it's part of the main topic that we are discussing this let's talk about today. That's energetic cleaning. So if we have a contact with somebody that was needing our energies, we perceive we lose part of the energies, at least we need to refresh our energies to be able to recover it again. Yeah, to not be in that state. If we are in a state that not good with energies, it's also more difficult for us to recover the energies. Yeah, so the best is not to lose these energies with in moments that we are not aware that we are losing. So the best is to be aware of these interactions, what's happening in each interaction, and sometimes we need to protect ourselves from these type of situations. Yeah. So these are some ideas.
All right. Any other comment? Can you go for the next question? Eliane Voslaw, our friend Eliane Voslaw asks a question here. Could you comment about the importance of self-de-intrusion as a kind of energetic self-cleaning? I think that Cicero was talking about this, weren't you?
Yeah, but it's good to reply the question, to differentiate, like, that is the most important reason to clean ourselves. It's not only the energies of the environment without consciousness affecting us. Sometimes there is an intruder, a self-intruder, some immaturity that we have that keeps other consciousness in our psychosphere. Then if we use a technique like the vibrational state, we, with that intention, and we work with our energies, then we disconnect from the intruder and we feel our energies again. So, and like in a vampirization situation, like Cicero said, but just emphasizing this disconnection that I wanted to add.
And always, if there was an intrusion and we perceive the effect of it, there was also something in our characteristic that makes this happen. So sometimes it's a weak trait that we have, sometimes some points that we need to evolve, sometimes that we need to pay attention that our characteristics, some emotional aspect, or many other possibilities. Yeah. So sometimes it's also good, is an opportunity also to perceive what's the point that makes that extraphysical consciousness, that intrusion happen with me. So, and this sometimes also helps for us to get stronger, to not happen it again. Yeah. So it's not only the energy itself, but also our characteristics. Also, Marcelo have been talking about this.
Cicero, what you said is basically a thing we always say in the courses of conscientiology, that all intrusions starts with self-intrusions, right? And we when we have a self-intrusion, we allow, or we are open to suffer the effects of this intrusion.
Okay, and it's very important for those ones who are watching us for the first time, right? That's newcomers in Conscientiology, that self-de-intrusion means to get rid of the negative intrusion, energetic negative intrusion, right? And self is something that is done by ourselves. As we have self-intrusion, we have self-de-intrusion. Self-intrusion is, for example, in a situation like that Ugo told us, right? That someone at his work is sending bad energies to him. If he reacts to it negatively and then he will be like using the same tools, use the same, bad energies of the person. But if Ugo says like, oh, stop there, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into this pattern of energy. I want to clean myself. I want to have an energetic cleaning. And he will have the procedure. He will carry out a self-intrusion, self-defense, protecting himself from the external energies, right? So, but I would like to highlight something here, which is very important, right? When we really go through, energetic cleaning, it's not only the energies we are talking about. We are also talking about our feelings and thoughts. So something that's very important is to take care of our thoughts, take care of our feelings. So if we have an energetic attack, right, we should not, of course, sometimes, as I said, it's a bottleneck because sometimes we're emotionally involved, but we have to struggle not to get involved with these bad energies. And when we manage to do it, we have to keep our thoughts, to keep our feelings protected, because I was not having this kind of bad energies before. Someone just came up and said something to me, and it really, like, put me down and say, wait, there. And then I have to take care of this kind of thing, because otherwise we can't to counteract this kind of energies with bad energies as well. But I was not having these bad energies before. So it's not my energies, it's people's energies or someone else's energies. So I don't have to get involved with this kind of energies. So this is the thing I have to do, right? To clean my energies, to work with basic mobilizations of energies and triggering the vibrational states. And most importantly, I don't have to think badly about it. I don't want to spoil, right, my thoughts, which is the unit meaning thoughts, energies, and sentiments. So I have to keep my thoughts clean, my thoughts clean, my emotions protected, right? So this is a self-de-intrusion. It's when we don't think badly back to the person who is sending the bad energies to us, to say, no, this is not my energies. My energy is fine. Okay, I'm not going to get contaminated by it. We have another comment by Eliane Voslaw here saying, I noticed that volunteers of Conscientiology only maintain themselves active in the clarity task and volunteer work if they are able to do this self-de-intrusion. Comments on this collocation by Eliane.
A true comment. Like,
This is very important, isn't it?
Yes, if you are wanting to evolve and you have some enemies from the past that don't want you to evolve, that want to interfere, and even knowing our immaturities is hard. So sometimes to keep evolving, we need to face our immaturities, and it's hard. And if we start dealing with that, then we sometimes get intruder. And if we let it go, then we don't maintain our task of self-improvement and helping others, because helping ourselves and helping others evolving is hard. So if you don't have the habit to clean yourself, to get in contact with your energies and with the energies of helpers, with good energies, it's hard to maintain sustained good energies towards the universe and trying to help others. So you have a counterflow that wants to interfere with you in that process. So for you to keep your involvement, to keep volunteering, keep volunteering means keeping the willingness to help others, to help yourself, to evolve. So it's hard, and you have to maintain good vibrations, good energies, and to keep your own energies in the process. So it's like Eliana said, if you don't do that, it's harder.
I'd like also to share some idea that come to my mind. is that in general, important tasks will have contraflows. And how important is also for us to have strong will and clear goals, what we want to achieve, what is our purpose, what we want to do. And when these things sometimes are clear and we have will, we want to do that thing, we want to do that task, we perceive the importance of doing that activity, for example. Many times the contraflows decrease because we are so strong in what we want to do that we are going to do anyway. So many times it changes the scenario. Yeah, it makes more difficult for an intruder to come closer to you because they know um, you are not going to give up. Or I'm not saying that never we will not give up, but let's say in general, if we have stronger will, it helps also in this process. And how helps also the intrusion? Because we connect the reason for us to make the intrusion is also because we want to keep doing important tasks. Let's say something like this. Yeah. So this is, I think it's also connected to this.
And there is a
And
comment
this is
from Eliani here.
and
Okay, go
this is
ahead, Will.
a and this is a decision we have to make, because if we are not, for example, if we are not willing to develop the intrusion, we will be always a hostage of our immaturities and our emotional processes. So this is a self decision to develop this and interact better. We can do this with all the techniques that we brought here, with vibrational state, with penta, with encapsulation, and interacting better with other people.
Definitely. Eliani says, I do agree. We have to be aware of our thoughts and feelings and reorganize them if needed. Thanks, structure. Very nice. I would ask our monitors to for our adverts because we have a very important event this year, International Weekends of Conscientiology from 12 to 14 of August. It's an online event. The main topic will be universalism. 3 days connecting intermissivist researchers around the world. It's an event organized by Isaac, right, and supported by CIEC. 2022, a special year because we have an International Weekend of Conscientiology. So get connected with the website at www.iscons.org. Right, the event schedule is Friday, 14 August. They'll have Introduction to Conscientiology course, presentations of the National Journal of Conscientiology 2021, meet the authors, presentation of books published in different languages. And on Saturday, 15 August, we have a Living with Universalism workshop, volunteer around the world presentation. And on Sunday, 16 August, round the table debates and conscientiological cafe. That will be a huge event. I highly recommend your participation, and you can get your registration made here in the websites, right? So I will certainly meet you in this event because I won't miss it, right? And tomorrow, every Monday, we have our psychic encounters, right? It's an event, a round of discussions proposed and based on the projections of consciousness, book, and other parapsychic experiences. But most importantly, here in this event is come for our debate and bring your questions, bring your doubts about, all things concerning parapsychism, right? We will try to answer and debate, and everyone, we have a very nice group going, and everyone can pitch in to clarify your questions, clarify your doubt, answer your questions, right? You can enroll your visit, right, to in our website www.assipi.org/loja. Okay, or you just go to ASSIPI Instagram or Facebook and leave a message in our adverts, right? Because we are going to place an advert in ASSIP in English, ASSIP in English Instagram. So just leave there your message, and we will contact you, put in you in the group. This group is very good. Cicero is one of the hosts of this event, and this very nice indeed. We are approaching the end of our debate, and I would like to tackle a situation that is very, very common. For example, if I am a doctor, if I am a therapist, if I work with energies, right? If I'm a teacher, how can I interact with patients, students? Sometimes people come with their problems, especially if you're a therapist or a doctor, and not get involved with these people, even those ones from a wide variety of line of thoughts and philosophies and studies, which deals with people coming to be assisted energetically speaking. How these people can, right, assist energetically, but not get contaminated by people's energies. Let's talk about it. I think it's very important for those who are watching us and work with this kind of things. We're dealing directly with people.
Yeah, I think we should know our energies and to use like the technique that we're saying this debate, like the vibrational state or exteriorize your energies. You can choose yourself not to interact, but the best way I think is to know the interaction and then to clean yourself, like using the vibrational state or exteriorizing your energies or trying to connect your thoughts with other energies. There are many other techniques, but anyway, I think we are almost in our time, and I will let others talk.
Cicero, Leo.
Yeah, when you are a doctor or a teacher, for example, you interact with people and you get contact with different energies, sometimes or a therapist, and it's really very important for you to be aware of this, that you are in a not easy field to deal with the energies. So there will be difficulties of energies, and I think for this type of professions, it's even more important sometimes in the daily routine of work to really be able to know how to move the bioenergies, our own energies, to have some knowledge of bioenergies. This can help a lot, because if we know our energies, if we know how to move energies, makes things much easier for us to not get connected to other energies, and also to know how to clean our energy. So it's a type of protection, and also possibilities to clean easier. So this is very important, to not um, get difficulties with and not to bring the work problems to your personal routine. So it's important to have two distinguished things. In the moment you are in contact with others, you perceive that energies, you are interacting with that energies, but sometimes you need your own routine of life. That's not only your work. And this is important for you to have good energies all the time. Even during the work, of course, good to have good energies. Yeah.
I think the best way to deal with these interactions is basically everything we said here, the techniques, the knowledge here we are sharing. But the first step, I think, is to apply these simple techniques with our will. So we have to this situation of doing 20 vibrational states every single day, and this is the first step. But when the time passes, when we start to master this vibrational state, you became more aware of what's happening multidimensionally. So you open yourself to the multidimensional, what's happening multidimensionally. So this is a natural path you become with the techniques, but these techniques, and the most you do the techniques, the most you will need to do this because you are becoming more sensitive. So when you become more sensitive, you will feel this need to do the techniques to become more clean, more homeostatic, and more balanced with your energies.
That's what we are all are going for, right? It's this kind of state, because if we consider um, our energetic interaction seriously, right? Even what we watch on television, if you're watching the news, if you're watching a film, so these things contaminate our energies. Sometimes we are good, we are happy, and then we watch something, and then after that we get really bad, about some news we see on television. So in all this kind of situations, if you take energies, our interaction, then chat interaction seriously. So we have to also do these techniques of energetic cleaning, at the end of these events, right? So to get disconnected, we have some concept which is sympathetic assimilation and sympathetic de-assimilation. Sympathetic assimilation is a lot easier because we get connected with people all the time. Sometimes, depending on the topic, we get more connected if the topic has to do with us, or the situation has to do with us, or if the person is a friend. So we tend to more easily get connected with this person or the situation or the topic, right? We are also liaised with. But the de-assimilation is also important, right? And it's a harder movement, right? Because we are sometimes, as I said, too much emotionally involved. But we have to struggle with our with our possibilities, right? To stretch out our limits in terms of energy, working with energy, right? Trying to reach a good quality of energy parties, the mastery of energies. This is what we are going for, right? We're always going for. But all of us are learning how to deal with this and trying to make our days a lot better for ourselves and for the others we always interact with, right? Sending best energies, best thoughts, best emotions to people. And we have to say that we are coming to the end of Let's Talk today, and telling you that the Let's Talk about comes back next month, also talking about energies, right? This time we'll talk about Tho Zane. What is it? Thoughts, energies, and sentiments, or thoughts, sentiments, and energies, right? This is something very important to pay our to put our attention on, right? It will be on July 31st. And thank you very much for your participation, Leo, Cicero, Marcelo, and all the girls in the backstage, Renata and Talitha. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your participation in Let's Talk today. I see you in July 21st, 31st. Bye bye.
Thank you all. Bye bye.